On this episode, I met Scott,
Nice to meet you, too.
who once left everything behind to live in a war-torn wildlife park in Mozambique. He shared with me his experience in there and the impact it has had on his life.
Shortly after college, I ended up moving to Mozambique for a little while. Initially, I was doing like volunteer work for a teacher training college there. It was through a Danish NGO, and I didn't really end up liking them too much. But I met an American philanthropist who was investing his fortune in a national park in Mozambique, like a wildlife park, and ended up staying there for a couple of years, working in that park. I think about that place every day. And then I left to go back to grad school in New York City, and that's where I met my wife. And then brought her back to Mozambique to that same park for another couple of years.
What were you doing there?
A bit of everything. The idea with that project is like, there was this beautiful park. It's called Gorongosa National Park, and it was ravaged during different wars. The War for Independence against the Portuguese, and then the Mozambican Civil War, which from like the mid 80s up until early 90s, just destroyed a lot of the park's infrastructure, decimated the wildlife there. And at one point, like in the 60s, it had like the highest concentration of biodiversity and wildlife in all of southern Africa. So the idea with this project was like not just to restore the wildlife, but to do it in a way that would help drive some of the economic growth for the region. And it was very human-centric. You know, the philanthropist that was involved, or is still involved, Greg Carr, he's very much rooted in human rights. So he was taking a very human-centric approach to community development. It was a very holistic project, I'd say. So like, it wasn't just about like restoring tourism or restoring conservation, but very, very comprehensive. So my role was equally like varied, I guess you could say. Like I helped out with some of the tourist operations, some of the park operations for like infrastructure, like bringing internet, bringing mainline electricity.
How did that experience impacted you? In what way?
Oh, just like learning so much about like the resiliency of the people there and everything they've been through, and the resiliency of the park itself. I mean, it's rebounded incredibly. So many of the people I worked with there, they've lived through civil war, they've lived through natural disasters, they've lived through even recently like minor civil strife, hurricanes, famine, disease, never taking anything for granted in terms of like access to hospitals, access to reliable food, even just thinking through like how some people can't even take the luxury of planning out, next week, let alone like next year. Just opening up my worldview, I think, to like the fact that places like that exist. It's such a beautiful, majestic place that you feel like you're in like a different time. It feels like prehistoric to be there. It's a very special place.
One thing, if you want to say one thing you learned in life, what would that be? One important lesson.
I always like that one saying that was like, you never know what other people are going through. Like just humility, I'd say, probably just really trying to remind myself about how lucky I am, and how I try never to make assumptions about what other people are going through, or what they might have or haven't had to help them in life. And there'll always be people who have more than you, and there'll always be people who maybe have struggles that you don't have. So try to remind myself that it's not a competition. Nothing's a competition. I think a lot of problems in the world today could probably be diminished if we all just calm down a little bit and try to like see what other people are going through, but not just like tokenize people, but try to really understand. That's why I think Mozambique really helped me, like staying there for a while and like getting some perspective.